This here is Luffy's "See you later, alligator, you're a shit pile, crocodile" look. And certainly if you like this type of thing and more, remember to follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and even the Google+. One Piece, Chapter 209. I will defeat you.
Oh, love it. All right. Hello, my brothers and sisters of the Nerd Nation. I, as always, am Jim, here to bring you another review on the excellent, the action-packed tale of One Piece. This is the chapter that I personally have been waiting for quite some time. At least, hopefully, one of many. The last chapter, of course, saw us with Pell sacrificing himself, and in a very, I thought, touching, fitting moment, as he is considered the guardian of the kingdom, he went and flew up into the air with the bomb that was supposed to blow up all of Alubarna, and it exploded above the, of course, above the capital as opposed to in the capital. So, everybody's excited. Vivi was crying, very touching moment, and that is how the chapter left off. That is right where this one picks up. And what this is at this point is it's Vivi looking down and seeing everybody still fighting. Okay, there is a huge explosion that's happened overhead. There's, of course, some debris and rubble coming down. And even like Tashigi's like, damn it, just stop fighting. Because, the Marines have been trying to help and trying to, in any way they can. And she winds up having a little bit of a flashback of what Smoker said before he took off, excuse me, back outside of Rain Base. God, I might have to have some water there. I don't know, I get too excited sometimes. When he left her outside of Rain Base and said, pay attention to the events that unfold here, because this type of stuff not only will shape a kingdom, but can actually change the world itself. So we see that, and we see several pages of Vivi just starting to go and just scream at the top of her lungs while she's in this clock tower, of course, and she's got this elevated position above everybody, and she's just like, stop! Stop fighting! Stop! And I mean, she's just, giving her all, but obviously there's, hundreds of thousands of people fighting down there between the rebels, the Royal Army, whatever Baroque works agents may be left, that are fighting in there. Excuse me for a second, I have to hydrate. Hopefully that'll help better. Jesus, sounds like a frog attacked me. So, maybe I'm getting a little thick, who knows, I feel a little peaked, but... So that winds up going on for several pages, and of course, she can't really be heard. So then we get the Straw Hats, which most of them are beaten and broken as it is. Usopp's in a full body cast, even his nose. And they're like, come on, let's go and let's help, And they're like, do what, And Usopp goes, I don't care, hit them, kick them, do whatever. Just make sure they stop fighting. So it's kind of funny because it's a little bit counterproductive to hit somebody to stop them from fighting, but it's very funny the way it's portrayed. Because I understand the point he was trying to get across is like, let's just figure out how we can end this, right? Because, after the bomb blew up and didn't blow up everybody in the city, you'd think people would go and, just get a grip, man, and be like, all right, let's fucking stop fighting here, But, frog's coming back. So anyway, it is kind of neat how this whole thing transitions, because that's like the first almost half of the chapter, and then Vivi goes and she's just like, stop fighting, right? And as she does that, it cuts to the next panel, and the next panel is Luffy and Croc doing what? Fighting! And that's why the exchange was very funny. It was portrayed and done and put together and wrapped up very well, and I really, really am just starting to admire and respect with each passing chapter Oda in such a profound way, because there's novels that I've read that don't have this type of characterization, this type of, these type of plot points, the twists, the heartfelt moments, and just things kind of, meshing together and adding up. And, I tell you the truth, I didn't believe a lot of you when you said, pay attention now, because in 200 chapters or even 500 chapters, they might have foreshadowed and this and that. I believed it to some degree, but I was like, all right, whatever. People are just exaggerating. They're just big Oda fans, But no, I'm a big Oda fan now, too. So you can count me amongst those. So then the next portion, or the rest of the chapter, is the ultimate battle between Luffy and Croc, and it's really kind of cool because Croc is going, and like I said, he's scared, right, and he has been for a couple chapters, but it really sets in now because Luffy goes and nails him, and he's just like. And Croc's thinking in his mind, he's like, that scorpion poison should have set in by now. You know what I mean? It should have kicked in. And then he goes and he gets this flashback of, like, you know, when he got the report of that Mr. Five and Miss Valentine were defeated by this Straw Hat, and he sees the things like, there must be a mistake. And then he sees when Nico Robin goes and tells him, he's having these flashbacks of Nico Robin telling him, and the Straw Hats are here and this and that, you know? And this is like him inner monologuing and flashbacking and going like, oh God, I underestimated this kid, you know? So I think I'm fucked. And that's really what I believe he's thinking right now. So so it's great because then he goes and he pulls off his poison hook and he has a dagger under there. So, you know, I swear to, what is this guy? It's like Inspector Gadget over here with these damn things, you know? So he goes and pulls off this tier and now it's a little poking device, a little stabbing device, if you will. To tell you the truth, as big and menacing as Croc looks with the flowing sort of fur coat thing and everything, it looks like a letter opener because but whatever, that's besides the point. So this is his, you know, his last ditch effort, I guess, and he's going to stab Luffy in the face, right? So he goes to come at him, and he's like, you know, and you're going to this, that, I am so-and-so, and blah, and Luffy's like, I don't care who you are. I am going to beat you. I am going to kick your ass. It is simple as that. I don't care what your deal is. I don't care if you were the Lord himself come down from heaven to tell me so. I am going to beat your ass because that is the goal that I have set. And I really love how he does it because he's just like, I don't care who you are. So Luffy's going and coming at him, this and that. So, and, you know, and back and forth fighting. Luffy connects and Croc connects. You know, and you're wondering how Luffy's even can stand at this point, right? And of course, they're in this underground mausoleum, the hidden part of it, but it's like this big open chamber, you know, as some of these ornate things are that you see, you know, something out of like an Indiana Jones or a Tomb Raider or what have you, right? So there's obviously a lot of room and space in this cavernous opening. So we go and we see, then, you know, what winds up happening is Croc goes and kind of like jumps up into the air, and he's going to go and do this ultimate move, and he's going to get ready to nail Luffy. So he goes flying up into the air, and he's going to go and he's going to take down the whole place. He's just going to go and completely annihilate everything. I don't know if he's going to turn it to sand, if he's going to collapse in on itself, as I believe what he says he's going to do. So he kind of jumps up to get that going, right? Luffy goes and balloons himself up, right? He goes and turns into like just kind of balloons himself up. Then he goes and kind of like twists so it looks like several balloons like popping up or whatever to gain momentum going up and towards Croc, you know? At least that's what it looks like to me. Again, some of this may be a little bit different, you know, if I start doing like anime reviews, just because of the fact that something that's seen in anime can be portrayed much better than panel to panel in a manga. But either way, you know, I mean, the interpretation is not that off. He goes and he comes projecting himself up towards Croc. Croc goes to then go and do his, he goes, desert, and he's going to get ready to do his desert spada, right? Which is, you know, a pretty devastating move. And Luffy goes and he's like, gum, gum, you know, and he's going to gear up to do his move, right? And you see that and you're like, oh, shit, you know? So then in the next panel, you go and you see Luffy's face and he's like storm. So he's doing this gum, gum storm, which we've never seen before. And then you go and you, of course, see Croc goes and he's spada, you know? And then in the next page, the next actual 4 pages, there are 2 double-page spreads for the most part. It's great because the first one is just, it's Luffy going, because you see as he starts this storm that, of course, with the blood on his hands and everything else, he's able to actually go and wound Croc in his, even in his sand form as he goes and he's starting to create this huge storm around him. And Luffy, you go and you just see him in this double-page spread, just like, I mean, just annihilating him. Like, it's like Gatling gun times 10, man. It's Gum Gum Storm, right? And apparently it's just like a storm of fists and flurry and punches, you know? And like I said, I mean, leading up to this, it was great because we had some great, you know, just punches and kicks and just boom, just like 2 titans fighting. I mean, you know, it was really, really cool. And then we go and we see, you know, in that second double-page spread, him go and just knock Croc the fuck out. I mean, right up out. I don't know how far underground they are. I can imagine it's probably pretty decently deep underground because it's supposed to be this hidden part of this, you know, the Royal Mausoleum nobody knows about, right? But he goes, and I mean, he hits Croc so goddamn hard, right? That Croc goes and you see this picture, that is double-page spread that's depicted wonderfully by Oda. His art style has come a long way in the 4 or 5 years, you know, at this point since he had been drawing One Piece, because it's just so cool to see, because you see the outside, right, of the, we assume Alubarna, you know, the mausoleum, or whatever, and you see Croc just like spiraling out of control as he got nailed and just jacked up straight through all that stone and bedrock and whatever else there was between the top of that inner ceiling of the hidden part of the mausoleum and then, of course, the outside, you know. So that's how the chapter ends. I mean, you can only assume that Croc got knocked the fuck out. I don't know if he did or not. I don't know if there's still going to be any type of battle, you know, or Luffy's going to have to completely finish him off. But I can't see him getting up from this one, man. I mean, this was the way it was done, the way it was depicted, the way it was drawn. I've never seen anything, you know, I've never seen Oda depict or draw anything like this as far as, you know, with the two back-to-back kind of double-page spreads. And really just think that it was done well. And either way, whether he is done down for the count or whether he's got a little bit left in him, if he does, it's not much, you know. So that is how the chapter ends. And man, what an explosive, fun time. You know, can't wipe the grin off of my face. Can't wait to get into the next one. Shit, if this goes like this, I might read 10 chapters today. I don't know. But that leads into my chapter question. And my chapter question is, what are your thoughts, brothers and sisters, on the actual visual, the art depiction that Oda created for this particular portion of the battle? I, number one, thought the transition was great from Vivi yelling, "Don't fight, you know, stop fighting," to showing them fighting, you know, because obviously this is kind of, it's already been in motion and it's a necessary evil, but it's just kind of a funny contradiction of "don't fight," and then you see them pummeling each other. But just the way everything was done and drawn with the move and what have you, what do you think about that particular fight scene, the end of that fight scene, I guess you would say, you know, because I thought it was done very, very well. So that is the chapter question. Remember to leave your answer to the question in the comments down below. Feel free to hit the thumbs up, the like button if you should think that I deserve it. And subscribe if you haven't done so already. We'll certainly look forward, we'll anxiously await seeing you all in the next one, nation.
Oh boy, I remember this fella, don't you? It reminds me of a dick with eyes.